Hello everyone! Today's article is titled The Mushroom Murder Mystery. It tells the real-life story of Erin Patterson, an Australian woman accused of poisoning her former in-laws with death cap mushrooms. This case gripped the world with its strange details, emotional stakes, and legal drama. It blurred the line between tragic accident and intentional crime, drawing global attention in the process. Let's pause for a moment before we move into the article. Before we examine what happened, it helps to consider a larger theme that gives us context. This will guide how we understand the story that follows. This brings us to a powerful theme: how we deal with truth and suspicion in emotional, high-stakes situations. A courtroom is supposed to find facts, but in reality, emotion, bias, and media attention often shape perception. In murder trials especially, the line between accident and intention can become dangerously blurred. What happens when a jury's decision carries not just legal consequences, but emotional weight for the entire nation? Why do you think the Erin Patterson case captured so much public attention? What makes a real-life case feel like fiction? The Erin Patterson case drew massive public attention because it combined elements of mystery, family drama, and legal suspense. It wasn't just a story of death. It was a Sunday lunch turned fatal, a family gathering turned national scandal. People were fascinated by the idea that something as ordinary as a homemade meal could lead to tragedy. Add in the emotional weight of a daughter-in-law possibly poisoning her elders, and the case becomes deeply personal. The media played a big role too. True crime podcasts, news alerts, and live courthouse updates made people feel like they were watching a scripted thriller. But what really intensified the case was the legal process. The jurors had to deliver a unanimous verdict. That means one person could hold up the whole trial. This pressure, the isolation of jurors, and the moral burden made the story as psychologically intense as any drama series. In short, real human stakes and emotional complexity made this case feel larger than life. Now, to understand this article better, we need to familiarize ourselves with key vocabulary. We'll go over 3 important expressions, learn their meanings, and see them in action with example sentences. Let's start with feud. It means a long and often bitter conflict between people or groups, especially within families. The article describes a family feud that added emotional tension to the trial. Here's an example. The siblings' feud over inheritance lasted for years and tore the family apart. Next, we have juror. It refers to a member of the jury, a group of citizens who decide the outcome of a court case. In this trial, jurors were sequestered and under pressure to reach a unanimous verdict. Here's an example. The juror said the evidence was clear, but the emotional weight of the case made it hard to decide. Finally, let's look at prosecutor. A prosecutor is a legal official who tries to prove that the accused person is guilty in court. In this case, prosecutors argued that the mushroom poisoning was intentional. Here's an example. The prosecutor presented forensic evidence to support the theory of premeditated murder. Now that we've explored the main themes and vocabulary, let's reinforce our understanding with a summary dictation exercise. Listen carefully and fill in the blanks. In Australia, Erin Patterson went on trial for allegedly poisoning 3 former in-laws with death cap mushrooms served in a homemade beef Wellington. The dramatic case, filled with family tension, tragic deaths, and courtroom suspense, drew global attention and sparked debate. With a unanimous verdict required, jurors faced intense pressure. For many, the story blurred the line between accident and murder, and proved truth can be stranger than fiction. Let's check the answers and review what each word means. The first answer is on trial. It means being formally judged in a court of law for a suspected crime. The second answer is allegedly. This means something is claimed to be true, even though it has not yet been proven. The third answer is suspense. It refers to a feeling of intense uncertainty or anxiety about what will happen next. The fourth answer is unanimous. It means that all members of a group completely agree on a decision without any opposition. The fifth answer is verdict. This is the final decision made by a jury at the end of a trial. Well done, everyone. We explored the blurred line between accident and intention, as well as how the media shapes public perception of justice. The Erin Patterson case shows how family conflict, mystery, and courtroom pressure can collide in real life. Here's your reflection question. Would you ever want to serve on a jury? Why or why not? Let's revisit this in our next session. Until then, keep thinking critically and stay informed.